Hey everyone. Okay, so we are going to call to order the Sumner County Library Bylaws and Policies Committee meeting for December 11th, 2024. It is now 3:32 p.m. Call to order, and of course, to start off with a roll call.
Erica Grammer,
Jackie Wilbur,
Mike Bryan,
And Joanna Daniels, and Jim Holcomb is not present, and he did let me know that he is not going to be able to be here today. So, but we have a majority, so we're good. All right, we're going to start off with the invocation, and Erica, would you like to do the invocation?
Sure. Lord, we want to thank you so much for today, and thank you for just yet another opportunity to come and go through things for our local libraries. And Lord, I pray that you will direct our words, direct our thoughts, help us do the business of cleaning up old information, and just let us be present with these documents. Lord, I pray that you will be glorified in all things, and we lift you up in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Let me grab a pen. Okay, all right. Now we are going to move on to approval of the agenda. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
So moved by Mike. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Jackie. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And any abstentions? Okay. All right, and we're now going to move to approval of agenda passes. Recognition of the public. Anybody? No? Okay. Okay, all right, so no one has signed up to do that, so give me 1 second, I apologize. Just in case of technical limitations, I always like to record these on the phone in case, you never know with technology.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so now we're going to move on to approval of the minutes. Everyone should have received these from, I don't know what is 2023, but I keep putting 2023 in all these. I don't know if I want to go backwards and just be like, hey.
Maybe that year just passed by too quickly.
Yes, so it was on the minutes correctly, but on the agenda it's written incorrectly, so I apologize. So library committee minutes for November 6, 2024. You received this in your email. And do you need a copy of these, Mike?
I didn't print them, I guess, unless
They
it's
were
right here.
in this. They were.
Okay, yeah, right here. I got them here. Okay, got it. Is that what I have?
No, they're right
Okay.
there. Lift up your agenda. Lift up your
This?
agenda.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I was asking.
Okay. Did I get everybody's names correctly on here?
I read through prior, and I didn't see anything.
Okay.
Okay.
So I move that they be accepted.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Erica. Second by Mike. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, wonderful. All right, so we are going to move on to new business. We are going to begin with the mission statement. And so we will open the mission statement up for discussion. I personally would like to move this to old business for the next meeting, and only because there's a lot that goes into the mission statement, and Jim can't be here, and I know that you had told me that you have to leave early, and so So anyway, so there's a lot that goes into this. I've toiled over this a lot. I do have some input, but I kind of felt like this might be something that we could even talk about back and forth via email. and then maybe bring to the next meeting. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's good. think
I
it's
agree.
fine.
I actually was going to suggest the same thing because I've looked at some others but I haven't gotten to sit down and really piece words together of what I would like to, what I'd like to present. I think mission statements are pretty powerful, and I
For
do
sure.
think this needs some work, so I agree. I would like more time personally.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, so, entertain a
Make a
motion to move to old business.
business.
I second.
Okay, so Mike, Erica, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, all right. Responsibilities of the library board. So with this one, we'll open up for discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. I actually did a lot of work on this one, and I've given you all a copy of the draft policies. I gave that to you at the last November 6th meeting. And I actually drew from the rough draft policies. I liked a lot of what was in there, but I did change it pretty extensively. Not extensively, I apologize. That's a bad word. Bad phrasing, but I have it on my computer here. Let me bring it up here because I have to do a hotspot. But you guys, did anybody work up any drafts on this?
No, I thought that what's here is a good start. I think that it needs to be fleshed out a little bit more, but I did not get your words.
Okay. So, let me read to you what I came up with. So, responsibilities of the library board. So, I'm going to have in front of me what you guys see. Sorry, am I missing a piece of paper here?
So this is out of the draft that I meant to bring it. I didn't bring that big. It's the bigger one that's
Correct.
all that. Yes, because I've read through it, but I didn't bring it.
Okay, I just had everything in front of me, and I'm assuming probably got mixed in with all the papers I just had. Okay, yep, there it is. Okay, responsibilities of the library board. So this is, I actually have two of these. Do you?
I've got them.
You got them? Okay, so
Yeah.
just if I can get these back. So here is.
You know what this is, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so,
So is that in here?
yep,
Or- okay.
so what you're going, I'll give this to you here in just one second, Mike.
Okay.
So, okay, so it's going to be under, if you look at the front where it says,
Oh, yes.
responsibilities of the library board.
Is it page 3, item B? In the big
In the
document?
There we
big
go.
one,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is,
It's page 3.
is it page
Item B.
okay, yeah.
It's duties of the board as well.
Okay, all right, so just so that you can see what I did.
Do you have it?
Yep.
Okay, so
Make the language congruent.
Yes.
So I changed it to responsibility, I changed it to you're gonna go before this, it's page 2 actually. If this one, it actually says bylaws of the Sumner County Board of Trustees.
Mhm.
I took that out and put responsibilities of the library board, okay? So, and I wrote Article 1, name and authority. And then, the thing I changed here is B, it says authority, and it says, the board exists and operates by virtue of Tennessee Code annotated 10.3.104. So I put that in there. And I just left it at that.
So what was this one that was referenced before, Dina?
So that is, I'm not sure why they did that. It says established maintenance and joint operation. So it basically talks about how the library board is created by the city and the county. But seeing as how, and that could be because it was bylaws of the Sumner County Library Board, but what I didn't understand why it put that, but 10.3.104 is the powers and duties of the library board. It's 10.3.104 is literally, it says powers and duties of the library board. Does that make sense? So that's why I said 10.3.104.
And so is anything changed after that?
It's a period, and everything else is taken away. Okay. Article 2, the objective, I did change that, kind of, it says, this is what I wrote. The board shall execute all of the duties and powers as stated in 10-3, should be TCA, 10-3-104. The board shall be responsible for employing and if necessary to terminate library directors. And you'll see, if you look at the other group, we're gonna say rough draft and enforced, okay, because there's two different ones.
So the bigger print is enforced.
The bigger print is enforced, because that's what's already in play.
Yes, and this is
And the
what we're
rough
putting.
draft is the larger one. So, because it had stated to hire and if necessary fire library directors. So I just put in here, shall be responsible for employing and if necessary to terminate library directors. The board shall create and enforce policies and regulations for all the affairs of the library.
This is under objectives.
Sure, objective. And the reason I put in regulations is because in the TCA code, it says regulations. It says policies and regulations. So I decided, that's why I'm just letting you guys know.
It's
that's
just
why
trying to
I'm
put the
verbiage.
wordage all together so that this is,
It reflects the TCA
Yes.
code and
Yes.
correct.
and so we would need
You can
to
rewrite.
also change in the enforced, to hire and if necessary.
Well, this is.
But I'm saying it would be good for us to keep that same wordage, just so it's all the same, right?
Well, what I'm saying is I'm marrying this to this.
Make it the TCA
So
Okay.
this would
10.3.104
be
language.
correct.
Yeah.
So I'm marrying some of this, the enforced into the
Correct.
rough draft
But, and I was just saying, the terminology, you use terminate instead of fire. Yes,
Correct.
and that's all. I was
Okay,
saying.
yes, sorry, I apologize. I didn't understand what you were asking, I apologize. So I just thought terminate is better than fire. So, and then I put, the board member shall uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Tennessee Constitution. And then it goes into Article 3, members. And I took all of that out as far as the Gallatin, Portland,
Because that's the system, it was based off the system concept too at the time, wasn't it? Isn't this? what-
No, it's always been that way in the bylaws.
Oh, it always has, oh, okay.
And it's
Well,
still in our bylaws.
it's in our bylaws.
That way.
Yeah.
So what this is actually a copy of the bylaws that they have just inserted into policy. These are the old ones. And we have new ones that have superseded these. So it's still there. It
Right.
just doesn't necessarily have to be in the policies. It's in the bylaws.
Sure.
Because this
yes.
rough
Yeah.
draft is from when was this?
2019.
And it was just never cleaned up and implemented. It was,
It
Yeah.
was
It was started.
reworded because if you read through there, it says executive director.
Yeah, it
So
was
it was
on
actually
this system.
21 when it was
Oh, okay.
reworded
Oh, okay.
to make it fit executive director. So everywhere it says executive director, you actually mean library the individual library
Right.
director.
Okay.
Yes. And which
So-
I did change that in
Mhm.
this one, yeah. And so, so under board members, I just put the board shall be composed of members who are residents of Sumner County and appointed and approved by the Sumner County Board of Commissioners. So I took all of that other stuff out. And in terms, I put, so you'll want to go to the next page under terms. The term of office for the regularly appointed board member shall be in compliance. And this one I put with TCA code 10-3-103, which is the TCA code for the terms.
so you just added that on one, just to be specific to the TCA?
Yep, so I took out 2, 3, and 4, because again, you don't need to put it all in there, because if the TCA code changes, you're gonna have to go in and rewrite all the policy,
Right.
this policy again. Does that make sense?
If you just say
Yeah.
TCO.
So I just put TCA
Yeah.
10-3-103. Okay. And then this is where I really married the responsibilities of the library, the large print, with this. And I put the duties of the board are as follows. 1, attend regular, special, and assigned committee meetings of the board. I put may annually evaluate the library directors. Because, and the reason I put may is because it is not in law that we have to annually evaluate the library directors. And so I didn't want to put
That it was
in a
requirement.
policy that it's permanent, you mean, or
Mhm.
if it's not in statute, I didn't want to put it in the policy. Shall formulate policies and regulations for all the affairs of the libraries is 3.
Say that again.
It's
Shall
shall.
formulate policies and regulations for all the affairs of the libraries. Um, 4, work to secure adequate funding for the operation of the library, and shall approve the annual budgets and present them to the county.
So basically, that is the second part. Number 4 is the second part of 3 that just got changed. The regulation, adequate funding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because
It became a separate one.
yes, I felt that formulating policies and regulations should be separate than funding.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's-
Because there's actually 10 duties, whereas this one only has 8.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and they were probably hidden all in here. It was just a lot of ands. So what was the wording of 4 again? Just so I can hear it.
No problem. Work to secure adequate funding for the operation of the libraries. Sorry, of the library. Maybe I should put libraries.
Yes.
Because we have libraries. And shall approve the annual budgets and present them to the county. Because as you can see on here, it's
on
in here
here.
somewhere.
It's on the top.
Yeah.
It's number 2.
Be responsible for the county budget submitted to the county. Be responsible for the annual budget submitted to the county. And even in this one, it was saying that we had to
The adequate
approve adequate funding for the operation.
funding. Secure. Mhm.
Yeah. So, and I've talked with Cecilia numerous times on this, and that it is really the responsibility of the board to present the budgets to the county commissioners.
Yeah, that was in our training, so.
Yep. Okay, 5, provide an extraordinary appeal to consider issues the library director cannot address. So library directors.
I'm sorry, in here it says canon. That was funny. Yes, how you have it worded is correct.
Yeah. Okay. Number 6 would be shall participate in the planning, comma, goals and priorities of the libraries. 7 would be maintain good relations with the local government and promote the library's position in overall governmental organization and support. 8, continually promote the library in the community and explain policies and services whenever called upon. 9, approve any fundraising activity by an individual, group, or organization proposed to be done in the name of or for the benefit of the public library. And then number 10, I put, this is not an exhaustive list of the duties, and the board may take on more duties as it deems necessary.
Yeah.
And then C, I kept the compensation.
I think that cleans that up a lot.
And so if you see, this was married to the rough draft, and then the rough draft actually had approve any fundraising activity by an individual, and that wasn't on this one already. So it seems like they were already wanting to do that. Any thoughts on that? Anything that you feel needs to be added or taken away? Jackie, I know you've been obviously on the board a lot longer than all of us.
With the fundraising, is there a TCA that covers the 501c3s? We might have to say in accordance with working with the nonprofit status or something like that, or is that to be understood?
Can you repeat that?
You know, a lot of your fundraising groups are separate entities, and they operate under the, is it 501c3? You know, so they're operating under a set of bylaws and a set of laws and a set of rules. So ours need to, whatever we look at needs to mirror the fact that they're operating under a set of laws as well. Is there a way?
To benefit the library? So,
just in compliance with whatever the laws that cover 501c3s.
Is there a TCA law that talks about fundraising for the libraries necessarily?
not that I know of, and I don't, so, and I could be wrong, I can definitely ask.
And I
about that.
don't, I'm
Find
just
out about
asking.
I
Yeah, I
didn't,
think that's a good
because
idea to have those
I've been looking
married.
at the fundraising for libraries,
Yeah.
and I know it says that we, as a board, can't actually do a fundraiser. So
Mhm.
that's something that I've been trying to, there's this crazy gray area on that.
Mhm.
But,
For the fundraising part? The gray area?
yeah, in the sense that the board can actually accept donations, so there's a really weird gray area on that.
Okay.
So, but,
Which-
so,
Which that would be closer to, that would, to me, that logically makes sense because it comes under the promoting the library in the community and explain policies and services. So if we're doing that and we're supporting, you know, we're explaining or being around or making aware of, to me, that would be an easy logical thing that we could raise support for certain services or certain things or certain, so it's cool that that is an aspect of that.
Yeah, and I think, so, I just want to clarify. So
maybe
like,
you
so
just,
like an
if it,
organization that's not a nonprofit
Yeah.
can hold a fundraiser for the library. I mean, that should be able to be allowed, because like.
so that's just understood, that we're gonna go, they're gonna follow their guidelines, and we're gonna respect that, right?
And we're gonna accept
Well,
money.
They're
Right.
they're going to function under those rules as their
As a,
group.
yeah,
But when it comes to, if it's for the libraries, it still becomes our responsibility of overseeing that. I don't think there's a conflict in that of the 501 C3. I was wanting to say 3C. C3, they're going to have to do what they're, like, stay under their
so
rules, their
you're
guidance.
answering you're saying that is understood,
But-
we don't have to put it down.
But we still have to make sure that still is in accordance to, because we are overseeing the libraries, we have to make sure that what they're doing still comes under
Yeah,
the guidance of.
There could be a situation where they're not compliant with our rules.
And I think that's why we have to actually prove it. And I think that when we create the fundraising policy, we could define that more.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think, but great question. So I think, but yeah, I think that when we create the that can be
That's
addressed.
gonna come
Here's
up.
how my.
Yeah, because I think that your EMTs operate in a kind of that way, other places, other groups operate that same way, where they, you have to look at both sets of rules.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
here's what my thoughts would be, like, even if a church or in another group does that for a school, the school board would have to still okay whatever is going on
Yeah.
with this incoming group.
Which
I mean,
I think
like,
will
it would-
be handled
it's
in
the
the
same-
fundraising policy that
Yes,
we create.
so I think that would
Yeah.
be more specific.
Yeah, nope, I totally get it. Great question. Okay, so anything that we feel that we need to add or subtract from that?
That was pretty much the same that was there, except just getting it.
Just rewording it.
Yes, getting it
Yeah.
nice and neatly. The thing I didn't like about this is that it's a little jumbled, like where things are, it feels like somebody's like, and what do? We do this and we do that. I mean, it's just kind of thrown in.
Yeah.
The enforced one. I like the order and I like the wording of that. And all you did was just clean out and separate some of them. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything to add, clarify? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to accept, this responsibilities of the library board policy and to move it on to the board for approval.
So moved.
So moved by Mike, do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Erica. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. All right, so now we're going to move on to the book signing policy. Did anybody do some work on this that they would like to add?
I actually liked how it was worded, so I didn't go further on that one.
Yeah, it was the same. All
What
pages
is
were too.
We did, and I did add on to this one because the book signing policy in the drafts was basically the book signing policies and the enforced ones.
Do you know where that is?
I couldn't find it in the draft. Do you know what page it is?
It's way towards the back. I think it's
Yeah.
under 4. I think under article. If you look in.
What page, is there a page number?
No, because they didn't
pages?
page number it in
This
the.
is so funny. There are a lot of pages going on right now.
There's a lot of pages.
Um,
There's like
gotta
50
fix
pages.
that.
So the book signing, it's
under
section
4.
4.01.
Yeah, so it's pretty far back.
All right.
But if you guys, it's literally the exact same thing as
Okay.
this. It's
Okay.
literally the exact same thing.
Oh,
as this
okay.
one.
Good deal.
That's what I was saying. But
Okay.
okay, so first of all, motion to open for discussion for book signing policy.
So moved.
Jackie, or Jackie and then.
I'll second. He
Okay,
made the
okay.
motion, I'll just second.
Okay, Mike second. Mike and Jackie, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, so I did add to this, of course. So, and the reason I did is because
There it is.
I love
It's on
supporting.
page 38.
Yes.
I love supporting
Yeah.
local authors, but I really believe that we should be able to allow for other authors to come in. So this is what I wrote, okay? And this is, in response, Jackie was with us, to the whole Kirk Cameron event. So, the Sumner County Libraries, in an effort to support community literacy, allow authors to hold book signings in their facilities. The author will need to fill out the facility usage application and agreement. Since the book signing is open to the public and the books must not violate the material harmful to minors policy. The book signing event shall be communicated via email to the board before it is approved by the library director. If there is a written objection by a majority of the present board members, then the book signing will not be able to take place. All promotional materials must be sent via email to the board before it is distributed to the public. If there is written objection by a majority of the present board members, then the promotional materials will need to be changed. During the signing event, a waiver on charging is temporarily given, and authors may sell their books while present. The author may sell other books in their collection if the books do not violate the material harmful to minors policy. In order to have a book signing at the Sumner County Library, the author must donate a free copy of their book to all libraries. Those are all the changes I made.
To all the libraries, not to that library, but all, you know.
I think it's
Times 5, it's okay.
I
Yeah.
just think, you know,
We're taking care of
books,
everybody.
it's $5,
Right.
you know.
Not that big a deal.
And I just think that, if I just think it would be a great opportunity to have all the libraries, have a. So
Absolutely, I think it's great.
and that way we're opening it up to not just local authors, but
Anybody that wants to.
anybody.
Whatever. Yeah.
Again, since the board is responsible for all affairs of the libraries, I really feel that, they don't have to get a board vote from us, but if a majority of the board disagrees via email, via written, that it won't be approved. That way we don't get into situations.
Yeah. I think what you added is just fine.
I think what you said
Worded well.
should be a given, so the fact that it's put in
More
writing is a
defined.
healthy
Yeah.
way of,
For sure.
that is what bylaws and policies are all about, so.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's setting
Just to cover
a
things.
defined protocol,
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
When they send it to us by email, like their stuff, I'm hoping it's not 248 pages that I have to read on
Yeah.
email,
Yeah.
or whatever. Just to, is there some way that we could avoid that, to send me a copy of your book, and it's a novel, it would be hard to preview that probably in a short turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
is there a way we could depend on reviews or ratings or something like that?
Yeah.
Because I know that if it's an adult novel, we could possibly have the signage, just not let the kids come,
Yeah.
or something like that. Or have it in the adult section where they don't usually, but I'm thinking if you're sending me a novel to preview, that's going to be hard to do.
Well,
And I don't know that any best-selling author is gonna send me his novel to preview.
Right.
But, you know, I'm thinking, that's a lot.
Mhm.
Well,
If it's a children's author, they're 32 to 38 pages. So that's not hard to preview. But, you know,
Yeah.
something else would be.
Yeah.
well, again, in our collection and development policy, all books have to be, that have access to children have to be not in violation of the harmful to minors
Right.
policy.
Mhm.
And so if anybody is coming to promote their book, I don't feel that, since it is a public area, such as it goes out of public park or anything like that, if it's open to the public, it cannot violate any policies or laws that are in effect. So the person would have to have, it would have to be a book that children would be able to be there to hear, you know. Otherwise, we just wouldn't be able to do a book signing. So, and I think that we have the authority to do that, especially since it's in our collection development policy.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and you know, as far as sending us a book to review, you know, I don't want a 300-page novel either.
Yeah.
So of course we would have to go upon reviews or looking up and
Or if they sent the title, you know.
well, what we could do is the library director would have to send them the harmful, you know, material harmful to minors policy and ask them, does your book violate any of this? And if it doesn't, then great. If they say it doesn't, then they can say, yeah, no, it doesn't violate that. And we would hope that they would be truthful with that. You know?
Maybe you have to sign an affidavit that says, you know, say that this doesn't violate your policy. You know, sign the affidavit
Okay.
for us
Yeah,
to be able to.
we could put that in there as
If
the
it's a
author.
legally binding document that they would.
So the
be
author will
signing.
need to fill out the facility usage application agreement and
Yeah,
sign
an affidavit for the,
an affidavit, claiming,
Stating that
stating,
it does
thank you,
not.
stating that
that it does not, does not violate the harmful to minors
does not
policy.
violate the material harmful to minors policy in place in Sumner County.
This is another legal thing that would give them pause to sign. Okay, I'm going to sign this, so that we could come back and say you signed an affidavit, it violated the policy,
Sure.
or violated the affidavit, because it really wasn't true. Just gives
Okay.
them a little pause before they.
So then I could put the author will need to fill out the facility usage application and agreement and sign an affidavit stating that the book does not violate the material harmful to minors policy in place in Sumner County.
Yeah.
And then,
And then
so
the
then I
library
can take out
director
that
would have
next,
to
I can
give
take out
them.
that says, since the book signing is open to the public, the books must not violate, so I can take that out of there.
Mhm.
And then just say, okay, the book signing event shall be communicated via email to the board before it is approved by the library director. If there's a written objection by a majority of the present board members, then the book signing will not be able to take place. All promotional materials must be sent via email to the board before it is distributed to the public. If there is a written objection by a majority of the present board members, then the promotional materials will need to be changed and resent to the board. During the signing event, a waiver on charging is temporarily given, and authors may sell their books while present. The author may sell other books in their collection if the books do not violate the material harmful to minors policy. In order to have a book signing at the Sumner County Library, the author must donate a free copy of their book to all libraries. Jackie? Any thoughts?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I will entertain a motion to adopt the book signing policy and move it on to the board for approval.
So moved.
So moved by Mike.
I second it.
Erica, second. All in favor say aye.
All right.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. All right. Now moving on to circulation policies. Entertain a motion to open for discussion for circulation policies.
So moved.
I'll
Okay,
second.
Erica. Oh, or
I'll
Jackie.
She can take, she's okay.
I'll second.
Between the two of us.
Okay, so Erica and Jackie. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. All right, circulation policies. Okay, so I started working on this one, and I found out, so the circulation policies, and then if you look in circulation policies and rough draft, are you heading out here, Donna?
Gotta go.
Okay. Hand me that one, thank you, just so I have it in front of me.
Happy birthday.
All right, happy birthday. All right.
Yeah, later.
Okay, so the circulation policies,
Is section 3.0, I think.
yeah, it's pretty extensive, and there's stuff in there that I was like, in the rough draft one, I'm like, we don't have any of this stuff.
My goodness, this is insane.
Oh, yes, so we don't even have a lot of that stuff, and so, okay, so.
Do you see, it starts on page 15. It's like 4 or 5 pages
Mm-hmm.
long.
So.
It really is 5 pages long. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff in here that I'm like, we don't even have any of that stuff. So, okay. All right. Operation circulation policies. There it is. So. Registration issuance. Okay, there it is. Okay. That whole beginning, I did away with. The whole SCLS and BOR's adopted principles of the American Library Association, I did away with all of that. So, well, the SCLS provides free and equal access to library materials and services to the Tennesseans of all ages. The library supports the individual rights to have access to ideas and information representing all points of view. That's, I mean.
Isn't that already that legally stated part of it, where we have to, that's already stated in the policy we have. Maybe in a different way, but it's already, you know, because we did, it's, I think it's stated, you know, that,
In the collection and development policy, that's
Yes.
I was like, I don't know why.
I
this
think
is-
it's already there.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to cut and paste, or if it doesn't need to be here, it does,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it's
if
true,
it's
'cause-
there,
Yeah, the
because
library
it was
supports
all,
these
we had that
principles.
TCA, and we
Mhm.
stated it, and we had to say 17 rather than 18, because that's
Correct.
what's
That's right.
It's
That's
in
right.
there, it's already in there somewhere
Yeah, so I just.
in the policy, so.
Yeah, so I deleted
As
that.
long as it mirrors what the state of Tennessee says we have to have,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to you don't have to put it in
Right.
5 different places.
Right.
It's there.
And, yeah, so I'm like, so access to library materials by minors,
That's already there. I mean, you know,
We have all that.
It's all
interwoven
there.
already
in the, well,
in collection. In-
this one I don't think is, and I did bring the collection development policy with me, because it is the policy of the Sumner County library system, library.
Mhm.
Libraries, that
you know,
parents and
it's really
guardians.
funny there, because we're a system. We're just not the ones, you know, we don't,
Mhm.
we're a system that consists of 5. We're still a system. We can't get away from that.
Right.
It's just
But they get to
what's in your,
individually function. and-
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just what's in your mind as you define that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, so it is the policy of the Sumner County Libraries that parents or guardians, not the library staff, are responsible for monitoring and improving the selection of materials made by their children. It is the parents or guardians, and only these, who may restrict their children and only their children from access to library materials. So it is the parents or guardians, and only these, who may restrict their children from to checking out, because so how would we write that?
Well, is that true with the
Oh, here we go.
minors, with the minors card? There is still a limitation of what they can check out now because of 17 under, right? Is that correct?
So what we can just do is take this out and take out that, and just say, it is the parents or guardians, not the library staff, who are responsible for monitoring and improving the materials their children check out from the library.
And that is very easy to do with the atrium system.
Yeah.
All they have to do is tell you, you put the note in there, and if they try to check out a book their parents don't
Yep.
want them to, they get a bell, buzzer, whistle, and it alerts them. So
That's
it's
awesome.
it's an easy fix,
Correct.
very easy.
So that's I just put, it is the parents or guardians, not the library staff, who are responsible for
Right.
monitoring and approving the materials their children check out from the library. But, actually, it would be, because it would have to be noted unless the parent or guardian is there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, is the parents or guardians who are responsible for monitoring and improving the materials their children check out from the library?
I don't like the way this is worded.
Mm-mm, no.
I like, because we do have a program that allows it. There is a limitation of what children can check out anyway, because the minor,
Yeah.
the adult versus minor cards, that has nothing to do with, like, that's just how that's set up. And then, but then there is, we do have it available where parents can note with the, you know, with the front desk what limitations they want, but this is just weird. I don't like the way it's worded. It's just
Yeah.
really very wordy and very odd. So, I mean, it is their response. I do like the, let me see here. The staff are responsible. I do like the first sentence.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we could put in parentheses where it says, you know, parents may notify the front desk, you know, of limitations or whatever, but
Why don't we
it's
just-
just very wordy.
Why don't we just go down here and take out access to materials by minors and take that whole thing out? Because then underneath it is registration issuance of library cards. This is adult library cards and child library cards. Why don't we just put in there?
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, I don't even understand this whole.
What the
this-
purpose
it's
of
not-
putting it
Yeah,
in here
it's
is
not
because.
even in
And
this
this
one.
was pre
The minor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
the law, this was
Right.
written before the law.
Correct.
Right.
So,
So I'm just gonna take that out. I'll just
you know,
have, like-
whatever the law is
And
has
this,
to,
this section needs extreme revision is because
yeah.
Exactly.
it's written here.
It's like right there in a big.
This is a
red-
rough
Yeah.
draft that
This
never
section
became
needs
anything
extreme
official.
revision.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so adult library cards. So an adult applicant over the age of 17 is eligible for a library card free of charge for 1 year upon, but that's only for computers though. Remember, we put in the collection, it's only under internet access for a computer because as far as books, it's 18, but the internet, so,
Go ahead, keep going.
so.
I had a firing and then it went away.
Oh, okay. An adult applicant, because in our collection development policy, we stated for books,
Well,
it's-
over the age of 17 means 18.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah, so 18.
You know, I don't know why
I'm
it's,
I'm thinking
I don't
at
know
the
why
age of
it's
18 and
there.
over.
Yeah. I don't know
Okay.
why it's there,
Okay.
but an adult applicant, well, they're
Yeah.
18, so you could take that whole
Got it.
thing out and it's not necessary.
So an adult applicant, well, no, we have to because computers
Or 17.
are 17, but books are 18. Do you mind if I suspend the rules and ask Anita a question?
Oh, mhm.
Okay, motion to
So moved.
suspend the
Yeah,
rules.
second.
Second by
And
Jackie,
it's
all in
okay,
favor, say
yeah.
aye.
All opposed?
Anybody opposed? So as you remember in the collection development policy, we did go over this because computer internet is 17 and over, but books are 18 and over. So when you're issuing a library card, how right now do you handle the 18 for a library card, but 17 allowed for computer usage?
If they're going to get on a computer and everything, there's actually another form that they can fill out and everything, and that shows us that they're 17 and that they can get on the computer.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So their library card
It's
is
still at 18,
for
it
8,
goes up.
yes.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, all right, motion to move back to closed session?
Okay.
Okay, Jackie, there we go.
Second.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll move it
It's just gonna be
back.
between you and me.
Okay.
I know.
You take
Okay.
turns.
All right. Okay, so, okay, eligible for a library card free of charge for 1 year upon making proper application. Do we have to do this 1 year? Can we do it like, for adults, can we do it, well,
2.
yeah, I would
Okay.
say at least 2.
And the computer,
I have a question though, can we do more than 2 for adults? I mean, why are we having, I can understand for a minor,
yeah.
but honestly, why are we having to do the application more than, okay, so,
Well, I just know on my library card, as an adult, you know, on mine, I don't have to reapply. But I can go by, here's my library card, scan it, and it gives me another year. Or a 2-year. You know, I mean, it's done on the computer. I don't have to go in and reapply every time I want to renew my library card. And that was with the TLC system as well as the one they've got now. I went in the other day and I said, I think it's about time, and
And it
we
naturally
just did it.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
updated it.
so it's,
Well, do you
so see,
mind-
this is outdated because you
Well, do
really
you-
don't have to do that anymore.
Sure, Anita's raising her hand, do you mind if I
Oh,
suspend
no,
Robert's
I don't
rules?
mind at all.
So, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
The only reason we set it for a 2-year expiration date and everything is to verify their current address. Because if they've taken our books out and we need to get in touch with them by email, phone number, send them a letter, something like that, and they moved 6 months ago, 8 months ago, we don't have a new address or anything. So it's basically more or less just keeping in touch with them
Okay.
and keeping a correct on-file address.
Okay, so the
So
2-year.
they don't have to reapply, they just need to show us that their address is still correct.
Okay,
And their phone
so,
number and their email and everything, yeah.
okay, so
Yeah.
you
So
like
it's
to.
more of just an alert for us
Sure, yeah.
to keep in touch with them and make sure everybody's still, yeah. Because you'd be surprised how many times somebody comes every week, but then as soon as something needs to be mailed to them or called them or whatever, oh yeah, I moved 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so it's just a way of constantly keeping it up to date.
And the only reason I was saying why 2 years even is because I just felt it was more work for you guys, but I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and 2 years is working for you?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move us into session.
I'll
Okay.
make a motion to bring us back.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, so 2 year. For 2 years. Upon making proper application, full access adult cards may check out any circulating materials owned by the Sumner County Libraries.
That's us.
And use computers for 1 hour with possible extension. A non-expired government issued ID, photo ID and the applicant's current address must be presented at the time of the application. Photo ID lacks a current address, a current official document reflecting his or her name and address. Postmarked in the last 3 days due to reflects his or her name, address is required. A PO box address may be used as a secondary mailing address but is not accepted as address verification. Okay. Child library cards starting from birth. Woo-hoo, that's a great child. A child may.
They have board books. You just keep reading.
Yeah,
That's right.
In a month, there you go. A child may have a child library card. The child must be accompanied by a parent or like a guardian with a library card to show acceptance.
You're still picturing the from birth.
Yes,
No.
responsibility for materials.
Dolly mails them to you from month one.
She does, she
There you
does.
go. For materials checked out on the card, proof of residence and valid ID by the parent or guardian at time of application, which the child must be in attendance and the parent or guardian to receive or renew the card. Guests ages 16 and older with a valid driver's license are not required to have the parent or guardian present to sign the application. As long as it's a child library card, okay, that's fine. Please note the access to library minors policy and the privacy, okay, that needs taken out. Okay, if under the age of 13, the child must be accompanied by an adult in using the computers. I would say under the age of 17 because they can't use a computer by themselves until after the age of 17. Or I would say under the age of 16 because the child, because the parent has to be.
It puts that in line with the guest ages, 16 over, you know, it would at least line it up with that previous sentence.
Let me see.
It's just a lot of kids that have to do a lot of schoolwork. And, I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes they,
Yeah, your middle school
Sometimes.
kids
Yeah.
that are working on a project are 13.
Yeah.
And it says an adult, so if the parent's not there, a library employee has to be that adult. I mean, it says an adult. It doesn't say the parent. So,
Well, then
You
we
know.
should put, so here's, okay. Here's my issue with this. And it is, as I know that there's been a few problems, it is people dropping off their children and then library becoming, there being an issue with the library. This is the wrong one. One second. It's the bylaws. Got too many folders going on here for all of our policies. Of course, probably have to bring that one. Thought I brought a collection policy, and we have that one, but I have it on my, okay, give me 1 second while I pull up our, okay, let me pull up our, computer.
No matter how we say that sentence, it's odd to me that the sentence of child cards are full, actually, that's not true. Child cards are also full access and free to check out any, so that's not true either. That sentence is out. Is it not? Child,
I'm sorry, which one?
so this is out.
Yes, that's all out, yes. Okay.
That was weird that it's in that spot anyway. You saw that, right? The two
Yeah,
sentences?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this one also, we have to change it to 2 hours. So cardholders may use the computers for a single 2-hour session per day. So we can go up there, we gotta change that to 2 hours. Guest past users may use the computers for, wait, 1 second. Cardholders may use a single 2-hour session per day. Guest pass users may use the computer for, guest pass. So
That's that
these.
next
You're ahead of
section. Yeah, so that's that next section. There is a whole section for that.
Yes, well, I'm looking at the computer use and internet safety that we already have in place. So we had just put in there for 1 hour, but up at the top where it says,
Oh,
remember,
yeah.
current document reflecting, where is it at? Computer use for 1 hour is actually, we have it here for 2 hours.
Oh,
it
in
is.
that policy
It's on
that's
the
already
policy,
in.
The policy that we
third.
already have in place
Yes.
Okay,
is
so
2 hour.
Third line
That's-
right there.
yeah.
So we can change that
To
without,
2 hours, yep.
and that just,
That's just
Gets
putting
it in
them
line.
Just
together.
reflects
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
yep. Downloading anything on the computer, there's a charge for printing. No one may sign onto a computer 30 minutes prior to closing. The computer will shut down for 15 minutes. Internet safety, to the extent practical, specifically upon request subject, usage. Okay,
What does that say? Our
it,
internet?
it doesn't even say, it just says, age 17 is considered adult according to the Children's Internet Protection Act. Generation required to determine the age of the guest. Downloading anything to the computer's hard drive is strictly prohibited. It doesn't say anything about 13 and under, 16 and under, or anything. And I don't see anything.
I mean,
This
that
policy.
line does not have to be in here because it will be cut, but we do need to cover it in our internet. We do need to make sure it's in that policy, the internet policy information. But this is just about child library cards, so unless we're just letting that be known in the middle of that. Because then the next sentence is legal guardians are responsible for books checked out. I mean, like, it's kind of a random statement other than explaining what the child library cards are.
Okay. So, okay, I would feel better if under the age of 13, the child must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. Because I don't want to put that on the responsibility and workload of the employees.
So instead of by an adult.
By a parent or guardian when using the computers.
So what if, okay, just functionally, I think, I mean, like, I know that I had to use my library a lot. No, that was way back when, but I had to use it a lot for different things. I'm just curious about what happens when somebody doesn't have, what if a young kid who's a responsible kid trying to do schoolwork that is in middle school needs to print out something and the parents are working. I mean, like, that's what I'm thinking through. Because I hear the workload and like, because when they are dropped off, it does suddenly become, have an oversight spot. I mean, where somebody's having to oversee and watch for, in that area. There are some libraries that are set up better where there is a person who's readily available that's an adult that can oversee. But then there are other of our libraries that are not as easily, doesn't have somebody that's right there. So I mean, like, I hear the need for it, and I also hear the practical need for it from some parents are working, some parent, I was single mom family, you understand that too, of mom was working, I had to get there, I had an adult that could bring me there, but my mom couldn't be there, and that person wasn't a, legal guardian.
So then can we put an adult, not library staff? Again, I want to protect the liability and the staff, because
And an adult who is, I don't know.
Because it like, I know that because I take my nieces and nephews to the library.
Mhm.
So I think an adult, but not the responsibility of library staff. I want to figure out how to do that. So, or do you think it's just understood?
I mean, because they can, that now get, even if it just says by an adult and it's just understood, it literally is something that they can say, I'm sorry, you're gonna need to stay with her, or, that kind of thing. It gives the library staff something to work with that they can point at
if you said a responsible designated adult.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then if the library staff had a chance to be that person, they could, but if they don't, they can say, I'm sorry.
Because some may, yeah,
They
that's
could
true.
designate themselves.
They could
If,
volunteer for
and
that.
with your teens, if they come for a teen program and then they want to stay to do homework or do some research on the library, and mom's not, or they get through early and mom's not there right there, you could have an adult that's a designated responsible adult. If the staff wanted to do that, they could. If not, they could say, I'm sorry, but let's wait till your mom comes to pick you up and let her come in.
So my problem.
What was the wording you said? I like
Responsible.
Designated responsible
There
adult.
you go.
The only problem that I see that is, if the child looks at something and the parent comes in and is like, I am so upset with what the library employee allowed my child to do, we're now liable. You know what I'm saying?
True. I mean,
I would just say an adult, anyone other than library employee. Or, oh, you know what? We could do this. I'm gonna open up again to ask Anita a question.
Okay.
All right, so I'll move to open up.
I'll second
Okay.
it, whatever.
So
Okay.
Yeah, we're
moved,
good.
second, there we
Yeah.
go. Aye.
So, I hope you can hear where I'm coming from. And my mom is a single parent of 4. But my mom, she actually was there a lot because she got her GED through the library. But anyways, the whole liability issue, we don't want anybody to be, especially in the wonderful world of web, to be held liable and for anybody to get in trouble. What do you, because I don't see anything in our policies, do you guys have in place for this? You guys, what are you doing, if anything?
With respect to what?
For someone 13 and younger or under the age of 17 wanting to use the library.
The one thing you need to remember and consider that our wonderful IT department here at Sumner County and everything has filters on every single one of our public computers. There's nothing that they can get into that would be outside of what would be allowed and everything, unless they know how to hack. If they know how to hack, then they're way beyond my realm or whatever. So, the way it is written right now, if you are 8 and under, then you do have to have a parent actually sit beside you the entire time you're on the computer. If you are above 9 to 13 or whatever, then you are allowed to be on a computer without a parent, as long as the parent has signed the internet agreement policy.
Okay.
And that literally is like 20 initials on every
Okay.
single line that says, if they do this, I understand. If I do this, I understand. If I, literally 20 to 25 initials that they have to, and then they sign it at the bottom. So they have to have that on file also for them to be able to sit there and use the computer. So,
I'm just curious, because in the policies that we have that's supposedly enforced, none of that is in there. Is this something that you guys just created and put
I
together?
don't know what book you have or what, I mean, I have a binder about this thick that sits right beside my desk that has all of this stuff in it. Tabs 1 through 8 or something like that, that has all of this stuff in it and everything. The draft, and just to throw this in there while I'm on the floor, the draft that you guys are looking at was something that was started by the executive director back when that was done.
Right.
It is the very, 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 very beginnings of what was to be the policies and bylaws and everything. So even looking at what you guys are looking at was nowhere even near ready to be put hands on.
Sure.
So just,
Right.
that's understanding too and everything, that this is, was never to be.
Yes.
We actually had started, I guess the directors had started it to send to the policy committee.
Yes.
Once, that was done and everything, so, yeah.
Okay.
We're grateful for what it is.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And like you said, it's about 50 pages and it was broken up between all 5 of us and we were, everybody was taking sections and everything, but yeah.
Yeah.
To go back to just the example that you gave of if a middle school child comes in and needs to do homework or needs to print something off, you have to remember you're dealing with some of the most dedicated, self-serving clerks, employees, and everything. All they want to do is make sure that child gets their work done. So if it was me or any of my people and everything, they would probably pull up on their own computer, the staff computer, what the child needs so that they wouldn't even see it to begin with, so that they could look at it to see what it is and then turn it around, say, is this what you need to print? Yes, it is. Okay, fine, we'll get it printed for you. I mean, we find the way to help the child get their homework done. That's
Correct.
the main thing, yes.
Yeah, and I think that we definitely would think you would, again, we're just, it's our responsibility to protect you guys.
I understand, yeah.
And so we're just making sure you are protected,
Okay.
so, okay,
Just
so it
understand
sounds,
too, in the course of that protection, you're sometimes, and I'm not saying you, it sometimes makes it harder on us.
Yeah.
Just,
Because of the
More
limitations.
work,
Because
more
of the
limitations.
limitations.
Yes.
right.
and
And
understand,
Mhm.
yet protection is probably more important because, especially in the volatile that we are, we would rather protect you.
I would love to see our policies reflecting, how you're functioning, that that sounds like a fairly healthy, way of doing that. It sounds like it's been tried and true, and I'm glad to hear the extreme of the protections too. So, but I would love to see our policy do more of a reflection of that so that it is just easy to see. So,
And if these were created in 2021, which it said, I thought there was 2019 on here, but I've seen so many dates.
But I know that
Yeah,
it wasn't
no.
until 2021 we had the executive director, so
Sure.
Right.
she started this after that. So, but now there
It
may
have been
have been a
started in
few.
2019.
There
and
may
then it
have
was
been.
updated in 2021.
Yeah, we did.
Sure.
We were working on other policies and things like that in 17, 18, 19 before.
Sure. So my
That may
question.
reflect in this.
So my question to you, Anita, is, if being in 2021, was that 9 to the ages that you were saying, 8 and below adult, 9 and above to 17? Was that in effect in 2021, or is that something that?
It's been in effect as long as I've been with the libraries.
So 8
Because
and
it's
below
just-
with the parent sitting beside them, 9
to
to
16, 17, whatever, it's like, yeah.
is
As long as
with
the
the
form is filled
document. So that would be,
Because we.
It's just strange that it's not reflected in
Yeah.
this.
yeah,
And yet.
just for clarification.
Yeah,
I mean,
just- we're
like
just trying to get clarification.
cleaning it up,
We
getting
want
it even more.
congruency, everything to be. Okay, all right.
Because there are so many pieces and working like trying to get these together so that they all reflect each other. Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Anita. Okay, so we're gonna bring back the session, okay?
I so move.
So move, Erica?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jackie?
Whatever,
Yeah.
however you want
Yeah.
to write it down.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so, child must be in attendance, parent guardian in order to receive guest ages, license, have a parent guardian. If under the age of 8, it's like,
If eight and under.
if
So under
If-
9 or 8 and under, however you want to
If a-
say.
child of 8 years or younger. A child. Okay. Fun stuff. Must be.
Is that parent or responsible adult?
I just put, must be accompanied by an adult.
Okay.
Must be accompanied by an adult when using the computers.
There might be an added comment.
Mine. Oh, lordy be. Okay, all right, so we're gonna open up, suspend Robert's rules, open up, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Since we're being so
Yes.
precise and everything, I just want to make sure this is specifically for the public access computers.
correct.
Because there are children computers that have only children programs on them. They are not connected to the internet at all, other than they have just children. So I don't want to make sure it doesn't include
And that's
that.
probably important for that wording for
Yeah.
sure.
So it needs to
Public
specifically say
access.
public
When
access
using
computers.
Public access computers. Okay. The public access computers. I'm just gonna leave it open until we finish this, okay? All right.
I'll try not to.
No, you're fine. Minors of the ages 9 to 16 may access may use the public access computers as long without an adult present as long, no, as, only after the
Signed
parent,
permission
after the signed, what is it?
slip and the initials.
Computer access forms, what we used
After,
to
after
always,
the
yeah.
signed, after the parent or legal guardian has signed the, say it again, the
Public access, or no, the.
Computer
children's
access form.
Computer.
Access.
Computer access form.
computer access form. Computer access form.
Can I see the wording of that?
Let me read
Because
it.
I think it needs to be like flipped a little bit. Maybe initially, parents of children 9 to 16 or 9 through 16 need to fill out the form, and then say they don't have to have an adult present after.
The only reason I
Initially-
started it is because it
Trying to
says
think
a child
initially.
of 8 years or younger must be accompanied by an adult when using the public access computers. Then I went ahead, the minors, between the ages of 9 to 16. The ages of 9 to 16 may use the public access computers without an adult present only after the parent or legal guardian has signed the computer access form.
Yeah, I think that's good. They'll keep the two.
Yeah.
worded well.
And then legal guardians are responsible for books checked out to their minor children. Okay. Have we beat this to
That
death
horse
yet?
died 20 minutes ago.
Okay. All right, okay, so bring us back into session.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
make the motion.
Okay.
Second.
All right.
Aye.
All in favor say aye, yes, okay. All right, okay, so I think we're good. The guest pass may be issued to any guest regardless of residence for the purpose of using library computer services. Guests must show a valid ID. The card is valid for 1 day, is non-renewable, and cannot be used for any purpose other than computer services. All internet use restrictions, including time limits, apply to this card. So, I don't like the 1 day thing, cause like, why don't we do, why just 1 day? I don't know. So,
Well, here's my thoughts. If somebody's visiting the area, say they're hanging out with their aunt, and they are homeschoolers or something, and they need to do something with the computer, then they could do the 1 day. And that way it doesn't bog down the system of doing another card. We've talked about cards before because of the policy we just made about the, oh goodness, the stamp. I just went there.
Notary.
Notary. So what we learned in there, they were saying it's not beneficial to have to sign somebody up through the whole process if it's only for a day, if it's only for that one time. But, then they'd be more likely to sign up if it's for multiple. That way, the guest pass being 1 day, if it's more than 1 day, they just sign up for a card. But 1 day if they are only there for 1 day, they would not need to bog down the system, is what they told us
Okay.
when we were talking about notaries. It's my
Okay.
understanding.
and then,
There's information that may be from
Lordy be.
somebody nearby.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, because I know there's something on here. It says, where's the guest pass thing that I was?
It's halfway down the page 16. It doesn't help you, but
No. Inappropriate network education, adoption. No, it was on the internet, access thing.
But if they're from out of town,
Computer use, here we go, here it goes.
They're not
In
gonna be
order to
checking.
use libraries, computers, one must possess a valid library card in good standing or may present identification to obtain guest pass. Use of computers is on a first come, first served basis. Card holders may use the computers for a single 2-hour. Guest pass users may use the computers for a single 1 hour long session per day. These time limits are set so all library patrons seeking access will have the opportunity, all patrons may request guest passes for additional sessions as computer availability allows. So
Where are you
it's
reading?
already in our computer use and internet.
Oh, the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So we can just scratch it.
So we can just scratch that, because just put, guest pass may be issued in accordance to, computer use and internet safety policy.
There, that one, that gets changed.
There we go. Guest pass, purpose of using the library computer, in accordance, in accordance to the computer use and internet safety policy, according to the computer use and internet, I cannot type, internet safety policy. In accordance to the computer use and internet safety policy. One day, it is used for any purpose other than all internet use restrictions, including time limits. Okay. In accordance with the, okay. Off-site issuance, library card outreach, library staff may issue library cards off-site. The application will need to meet the same identification proof of address as stated above, as well as authorization of a parent or legal guardian. If applicable, the applicant will need to meet the same identification proof of current, blah, blah, blah. Sounds good to me. Community organization, library cards, eligible organizations may be approved for a community organization card in the library. Director's discretion. These includes daycares and health care centers and other institutions that serve people who may have difficulty coming to the library on their own. Okay, total number of items for checkout. I thought I had already done that part. There's so many things to do.
But is this specific to the community organization?
Okay, community.
Is this
organization.
something different
Yeah.
for that reason? Yeah, this is
Yeah,
just
this is
specific
for
to the community.
library. Okay, that's right.
That's why it's.
Because
specific.
I worked on the other one below
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
The circulation policy, just checking out materials. That's really what I did a lot on. Okay, so, total number of items per organization for checkout. So for the normal checking out materials, I put, checkout up to 25 items. So with these organizations, what do you think?
No, that's too many.
No, for a normal library card, not for the
Oh,
community organization
okay.
library card. No.
Oh, are we on the next page then?
We're on community
16.
organization library
Okay.
card.
We're still on 16, and it's
Okay.
community organization. It's the
Total
part
number
that's
of
independent.
items per organization for checkout.
So I would love to be done here by 5:30. So what I'm
Because
gonna do.
I've got to leave
I
at
need-
Yeah,
5:30.
so what I would love to do, if you guys are okay with
Or
this, is
before.
just suspend the rules until we're done.
Yes.
And then that way we don't have to keep opening and closing.
Okay, yeah.
Go up there.
Why
That,
don't you
that's,
come on?
that's what I would just love.
Yeah.
You're fine, you're fine. So, okay, so we're gonna suspend the rules until we're done, until it comes to adjournment, so that we can stop suspending and opening, because it's getting ridiculous. So, all right, suspend the rules until we're done, till adjournment. I'll entertain that motion,
I'll make the motion.
I
okay? And
second that.
Erica, and all in favor say aye. Okay.
Aye.
So Anita, total number of items per organization for the checkout. What are your thoughts?
For an organizational card? Is that what this is
Yeah.
talking about?
Organization
So this
library
would
cards.
include daycares, assisted living centers, healthcare centers, and other institutions that serve people who may have difficulty coming to the library on their own.
I don't feel like I can answer for all the libraries because I don't know their extent of, do they use that or not. In Portland, we do not have any organizational cards.
Okay.
So that's just in general. Now, from my experience as a librarian and being with the system for so long and everything, yes, I would say 25 to 30, 35, something like that would be appropriate.
For the organizational.
For the organization, yeah.
That's a lot,
Yeah.
okay, all right, so
If you're
25.
dealing with,
Well, and I would think it would be more
daycares,
than
children.
individual because it
Yeah.
is opening.
Sure, sure.
Now,
And
I
the-
like the
so
individual
25,
being high
The
because of
organization
homeschoolers.
becomes
and stuff like that.
responsible,
Yes.
not the
yes. Yeah,
individual.
we're not talking individuals, I'm not talking about an
Yeah.
adult who
Right.
walks in, how many
Yes.
cards can I get on, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just talking about an organization.
Well, so I had put for individual 25, and I think organization 25. I think keeping it congruent would be good.
But here would be my thoughts. I was actually thinking a little bit more like what she just said, because if they are taking it, I mean, like an individual, I needed that many resources because I was homeschooling. So like, I like hearing the higher number for an individual, but when it's an organization, they're actually taking books for them to use or check out or whatever, but they are taking responsibility because if they disappear, they are taking the group is taking responsibility for it. So I do think like even 30, 35 would not be horrendous because they're taking it for options.
So 35?
So
Okay.
that would be my thought.
And also that
All right.
depends on the number of the collection. If Hendersonville could do that, Westmoreland maybe couldn't have that many
True.
books leave the library at one
True.
time.
That is true.
So you've
But
got,
this is gonna have to be something that's gonna have to be across. So we could put, total number of items per organization for checkout is, let's put 25, number of DVDs, 5, and then what we could put after that is, higher numbers can be checked out per the discretion of the library director.
yeah, somewhere it does say that
That
it
would
is
actually-
at the discretion of the library
Yeah,
director.
I
So,
like that. That would be good.
Yeah,
Higher, higher numbers
With approval or with, yeah.
can be obtained at the discretion of the library director. Cool.
I like that.
and just, and if you can't do it, it's up, and the bottom line is it's up to the discretion of the library
Sure.
director.
Number of
Anyway.
days allowed for checkout, I actually changed this to 3 weeks.
Mhm.
I think the 2 weeks is
Yeah, I think-
too long,
Little.
3 weeks. Checkout period with optional renewal for books. Fines policy, normal fine and damage, book policies apply. The organizational director, owner of organization is responsible for all fines and fees charged to the account. If abuse of an account is evident, the library director has the option to discontinue the card. Organization director, owner is responsible for named designees to use the card at the library. The Sumner County LSCL will not deliver or select books for the organization or institution. Okay?
I think that's fair. Does that sound fair to
That's
what
still
you
just
have?
the organization, we're not talking
That's just
individual.
organization.
No, and then
Organization,
I do
okay.
want to add in there, 6, the organization will be, shall be, well, I guess
You
it.
didn't share that train of thought. I don't know.
So, I was trying to, the minors, but it's like, it's an adult, so that should be fine. Okay. My only thing is making sure that, harmful isn't checked out by an organization and distributed to children.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
The organization
Don't have
shall
control.
abide by
Yeah, and
the
things like-
policy,
Yeah.
the whatever, the
The-
harmful materials policy.
Yeah, the organization shall abide by the harmful to minors. Harmful materials to minors, right? Where's that? Let me get it.
I think that's right.
Okay.
And then that leads us to, there is this agreement that
Mhm.
they have to sign.
Mhm.
We probably should put that on that list where they have to initial that as well.
Okay, designated user, I have read the document, understood all of its terms, and agreed to abide by the policy stated therein. Well, I think that it's right there.
That covers it, yeah.
True.
Signed, I approve the institution library card for, da-da-da. Okay. Expiration dates and renewal of library cards, guests may be requested to provide a
That
photo.
needs to be a CL.
Okay, thank you. Guests may be requested to provide photo ID when renewing library card. All library cards are valid for 1 calendar year.
2.
We put 2. It's a whole lot.
Mumbo jumbo. When you mean all official.
Yeah, okay. Lost and replacement library guests are responsible for any resources checked out. And lost or missing cards, guests are responsible for notifying library cards lost or stolen. The library will put a block on the account so additional materials cannot be checked. Library customers are responsible for materials checked out or lost or stolen cards that have not been reported. A replacement card may be purchased for the cost of $2. Is that still?
It's 5? Is it 5?
Is it
What
5?
is the replacement?
They'll never charge for replacement.
What? That's
Well-
awesome. My little tiny one that I talk about, they charged 5 a long time ago.
Well, I actually believe in, I think after the second replacement card, there should be a charge.
Yeah, but she's like, we.
Yeah.
Y'all are so loving and kind.
Yeah, but but because of the notary, remember she said that it costs money to create a card.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if it's gonna cost money to create a card and we chose not to do a card for a notary, then I think that if after the second time, that there should be a charge. That's my opinion.
I think that's a fair shake, and then it can be to the discretion of, but, I mean, like, because I know I even had mine stolen, my whole wallet stolen, and I had to pay for it.
Well, a stolen, I think a
I was
lost,
like, can I bring a document that says it was stolen?
well, I think
Yeah.
that lost is separate from stolen.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I mean?
I agree.
But, and how much does it cost again to create a card? Is it like $1 or something?
You mean to print a card?
Yeah.
I just had 1,000 done for $400,
Okay.
so less than 50 cents.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think $1 should be fine. I mean, I think that'd be fine, don't you think?
Yeah.
Or we could do 50 cents.
So if it
No, I wouldn't
reads,
do quarters.
if
I
it
would
reads
say-
a-
I'd keep it round.
Okay.
yeah, a second replacement card.
Yes, a second or a third. A
Okay,
third.
a third. You're gonna give them 2 chances.
Yeah, because I said
Okay.
after the
If you're
second
right
one.
on,
Okay.
Yeah, a
So,
third.
but do you think of your wording, if it's after the second card, is it just after the first replacement, or is it after a second replacement? So it'd be third.
Mm.
You just gotta,
After a second replacement. I gotcha.
so that would be
After
your
a
4th card, so that's not bad.
Second, you're right, second replacement card.
It's a lot of grace.
Replacement card. Has
She's like, we're
been,
still like,
has been issued, I got it. A third, card, third replacement. Yeah, third replacement card. Card may be purchased at the cost of $1.
Well, $2 because you've already spent $2 on them. You've
That's
given them
true.
$2 worth of grace.
True. You're good.
It's just
I like
accountability,
it.
and it gives you
know,
a place to go. If
yeah,
you do see
I
a
mean,
kid who's,
and if
or
they-
somebody
if
who's
it's-
just losing.
You know, and it's still up to you. You know.
Yeah, I think the
It's still up
$2
to
thing,
you.
I think it'd be.
Well, no, I think that it should be there. You know, for the
Yeah.
things where we give them to a patron if current card is no longer usable due to damage or wear.
Yeah, that's different.
That's
you know.
different. Yeah,
That's
they must
different.
be using it a lot.
Hey, have you seen
Okay,
my?
all right. So circulating, checking out policies. Okay. All right. Upon being issued a new library card, the patron may check up to 25 items. That's what I put. A guest should present his or her library card in order to check out materials. If the library card is not in his or her possession, materials may be checked out with a photo identification. No library material shall leave the library premises until it has been processed. Guests with outstanding fees over I put $5. Will not be allowed to check out additional materials. Guests with outstanding fees of over $5 will be blocked from computer use. I think if you let it get up to $20-$30, then people are like, well, I can't pay that.
I got a little while. That's right. I can still do it for a little
Exactly.
bit. Did you mean to skip over library card barcodes presented?
We don't use
Okay.
those. So yes, so I took that out because that's not even accessible.
Oh, yeah, so I'm sorry, I didn't even fully read it, I
Yeah,
just knew that
I
you skipped a
apologize,
sentence.
yes.
All right.
I only have one question.
Sure.
Are we doing for each and every card 25 items? So a parent's got 25 items, a child's got 25 items, another child's got 25 items, another child's got 20, you got 100 books being
Right.
checked out.
By the
for
way,
one family.
so,
And again, like, Jackie
Adult.
said earlier,
I would say
Millersville,
adult.
Westmoreland, they may or may not have that capability. I would love for a family to come in and check out 100 items.
but
Sure.
my suggestion would be adult cards, because, and that's how, I mean, like when I was homeschooling, that's what I had, was the adult. So even if I
But
really
this one
need
says,
extra
hold
books,
on.
my husband could go get it, but,
This is
kids can only
upon
do.
being issued a new library card. But that's true, then they come and get, yeah, you're right. Okay,
So
Upon-
children could have a smaller limitation,
the patron,
because the adults in their lives could.
okay, upon issuing a new adult library card, the patron may check out up to 25 items. Upon being issued a new
And I need to
child.
be really picky here,
Go ahead.
but you really need to put something in there about limiting the number of DVDs.
We do.
in that.
It's
Okay.
5.
All right,
Yep.
as long as that's.
Items.
Yes.
Mhm. 5. Upon being issued a
Per
new
adult.
Yeah,
Children.
children cannot check out
Yes.
DVDs.
children's, thank you. Children's library card, the patron may check up to 25 items. In the, so what do we put, there is a limitation of 50 items per family. Is that still too much?
I don't know about that.
Would the Portland Library be able to give 50 items
We
to
could,
it?
yes, yes.
Okay, and then we can put in there like we did above,
Discretion of the
Dis-
library director, based on circulation numbers.
less.
Then why don't we say 40 and then say to the discretion of, and that way it allows for the smallers to be more protective of, like if they had a lot of
Okay.
families that came in.
Okay.
There are a lot of the smallers that are
Um,
doing homeschool families, you could very easily be hitting those maxes with a lot of
A
those.
family may
And I think 40 items is a lot of items.
check
It's a lot of items.
a maximum of 40 items.
I just pictured being the mom responsible for 40 items.
More
Okay, sorry.
or
Yeah.
less
I had a basket. I was gonna say I had a basket. That's how we functioned.
may be checked out at the discretion of the library director. Okay, so upon being issued a new adult library card, the patron may check out up to 25 items. Upon being issued a new children's library card, the patron may check out up to 25 items. A family may check out a maximum of 40 items. More or less items may be checked out at the discretion of the library director.
So you're saying 25 per child's card?
Okay, so yes. So because if a child, like an adult comes in and the child wants to check out 25, then but they're the only one checking something out. Do you know what I'm saying? So the adult might not be checking out anything.
I just think that's really high for a child's card.
But like they might be checking it out to take them home to their family. Like the other children might not have.
True.
You know, a library
because it could
card.
be all the way up to 17.
You know, because like
17.
when my mom first took us, it only took one of us, and we checked them all out, and then when we all came back to return them, she brought my brother and sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, 25, and then the family could do
Well, we're
40.
saying 40 for the entire family, why not say
Yeah.
15 for the child? 15, 25, there's 40 right there.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, if the child's there and has more than 15, then they put them on the adult card.
And they can always be to the discretion
Hey.
of, we could say to a maximum of 15,
15.
but to the discretion
Okay.
of, it can be increased.
Sounds good to me.
Because if they know the need,
Okay.
then it would be different.
I think I did my math right.
Yes,
you did.
yes, you did.
Okay.
I would have alerted.
All right, so all circulating materials may be borrowed for a total of 3 weeks.
There's a request from.
Uh, 3 weeks. Some limitations are placed on the number of materials allowed per library card. Guests may not exceed these limitations. DVDs per card per adult card. Adult, right? Adults.
Because kids cannot get
Card.
DVDs, correct?
Total items may not exceed 5. And then,
What about games? 7?
We do 7. I mean, we'll change it to 5 if y'all want to and everything, but we do 7.
is 7 working for you?
7 works for us.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
But then there's also games. Is that correct? Do y'all do
We
you
do 3
do games?
3 games.
So,
per child.
yeah, because that's another limitation we need to put on there.
So games. Oh darn.
All the stuff.
I know.
So when you start into it, you would not believe it.
Oh,
Games
hence why I had a basket. It's a lot of
per
stuff.
adult card. Total items may not exceed 7. Exceed 7. And then games. Per child
Are the deadlines different
Card.
those with games?
total.
How long can games be checked out? Same amount of time, 2 weeks?
Yeah, we do 2 weeks, but with
Exceed.
DVDs and games, they cannot be renewed. They're for 2 weeks and 2 weeks only.
And they
You
have to
find if
come
we let them keep them longer than that, they get lost.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So then we need to put for DVDs and
Games.
all circulating, okay. Materials excluding DVDs and games may be borrowed for a total of 3 weeks. DVDs and games may be borrowed for a total of 2 weeks with no renewal. With no renewal for, because I mean, they should be able to come and renew them if they want to at some point in time for 3
Basically,
months.
if they want it back again and everything, they bring it back in, we check it in, and turn
Yeah,
around.
because they can check it back out, but
We
it's
just wanna
just not.
verify that they still have it, because you'd be
Yeah.
surprised how many times they'll say, oh, yeah, we've got it at home, yeah, we've got it. And when they don't,
Yes.
they lost it.
Oh.
So we just wanna verify that they still have our
They
information.
actually-
And that way it would allow if somebody had a hold on it,
Exactly.
it would hold.
With no
They-
automatic renewal?
Correct.
See, that's what I'm looking for. Automatic renewal. Okay. All right. So So I think we're gonna take a break here.
I think that's
So,
great.
we're gonna, thank you, Anita, appreciate your
Yes,
time and your
thank
help.
you.
So we're gonna bring us back into session. A motion to bring us back into session?
Go.
I'll make the
Jackie,
motion.
Second.
Okay.
Yeah,
aye.
Okay, all right, and then, I'm gonna motion, I will entertain a motion to take the remaining D, E, F, G, and H, to put into old business.
Yes.
And,
Along with,
the circulation policies.
along with
D.
mission.
The mission
statement.
Yes,
statement.
yeah, we already did that
I'm just
one.
saying, it will
Okay,
be,
yes.
that will all
So-
be old business.
So D, E, F, G, and H put into old business.
So
Okay.
move.
So moved by Erica.
I'll second.
Okay.
Aye.
Jackie. All in favor say aye. Anybody opposed?
I've already had to
Abstentions?
take a Tylenol. My brain is bruised.
Okay. All right, and then, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
So moved by Jackie.
Seconded.
Seconded by Erica. All in
Aye.
favor say aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, we have been adjourned.
Yay.
All right. Can you push-
Okay.
Can you push stop for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Want to make sure to be out of here.